The next thing that we want to talk about is proper classification of all of our relationships, right? Because we're in a relationship-based business. And I see frequently that we just get people misclassified. If I misclassify them, I don't have the ability to follow up with them appropriately, right? So we always teach this looking at a bullseye, okay? So the center of that bullseye, who belongs in the center of the bullseye? Yeah, 100%. Those are my top advocates. Now, there's a requirement to become a top advocate. Just because I know you doesn't mean you're a top advocate, right? For you to be a top advocate, I have to be able to pick up the phone, call you and say, hey, John, if you were going to use a realtor tomorrow to buy or sell, who would you use? And they have to, without hesitation, remember me, first of all, right? And be able to say, Matt Hargrave, 100%, I would never use anybody else. That is an advocate, right? The mistake that I see a lot of people make is realtors will say, well, we know each other, therefore you're a top advocate, right? And they'll put them into that top advocate group. They'll put them on even the touch plan for the advocates. And then they wonder why they're not getting traction with that group, right? They got 200 people in there. And at the end of the year, they've only closed a few deals off of it. And they're like, why is this not working? It's because we have the wrong people in there, right? You put people that don't belong in there, right? It's like trying to kiss the girl on the first date. It's not going to work, okay? They have to truly be an advocate. To qualify for an advocate, they have to know me, like me, trust me, be willing to use me no matter what, and are willing to refer their friends to me. That's the qualification of a top advocate, right? Many times I have to send people back and say, you know what, we need to clean up that database, okay? Like, you need to start classifying people correctly. And when they come back, they're like, yeah, I redid that. And I've actually only got 30 top advocates. I'm okay with that, right? We can build from that. And now we're at least intentionally working on strengthening relationships to get that really built out, right? So then what happens is we have the secondary ring. Who belongs in there? And these are the people that I know, right? So I know them, maybe through activities, church, school, whatever it might be. I know them, all right? However, there's a 50-50. They may or may not use me, right? Because I have not yet earned the right to call them a top advocate, right? Don't get these mixed up. I need to be spending intentional time with the people that I just know, right? With the goal of moving them into my advocate sphere, correct? Yep, we missed that. Now, outside of that, right? Now, remember, the people that I know, that's the people that if I see them in the grocery store, right? It's like, oh yeah, we know each other. We casually converse. We know each other's names, etc. Right? So I've got to be spending time with them. Now, who goes on that next ring of our sphere? Acquaintances, and you know. Yeah. PM, people that I've met, right? So we got TAs for top advocates, PK for people that we know, PM for people I've met, right? Maybe I met them at an open house. Maybe I met them at a networking event, right? We don't even know each other yet, right? And if I'm not kind of tracking them and I'm not intentionally spending time with them, getting to know them better, I might run across them in the store 2 weeks from now and we walk right by each other. I'm like, I don't even know who they are, right? So as an agent, my job is to meet as many people as I can, right? Because we teach this organically. It's an organic growth business, meaning I'm generating relationships. So I can't just sit here and fish from the same pond of 40 people, right? I've constantly got to be meeting people through, again, networking events, working events downtown, whatever your pillars are, those are designed to put you in front of people to meet them, all right? Once I've met them, they need to be in my database, right? My CRM, my bold trail, so that I can intentionally every week spend some time, right? I want to friend them on social media. I'm trying to get them to really feel like they know me, all right? So the people that I meet, no matter where they come from, go into this category. Once I've met them, I spend some time with them intentionally every week, getting it to where they feel like they know me. If I'm starting to comment on their stuff on socials, right? Guess what? They'll end up starting to see my stuff. They'll start commenting. It's amazing how that works, right? So now it starts to feel like we know each other, okay? Once they know me, I can start shooting them direct message. Maybe I invite them out to coffee, right? It's about putting together a plan to get people that I've met to start feeling like they know me. Once they know me, I'm going to stick with them until they trust me, okay? So our touch plan is for which group? Top advocates, right? I'm spending money, effort, energy on them, right? Because what? sales are guaranteed from them. They're advocates, right? And I'm putting in some sweat equity, especially as a new agent trying to grow that advocate group. I'm putting in sweat equity into these categories of people that I've met and people that I know, right? To enhance relationships, because eventually those relationships will what? Generate business, right? I move them to advocacy. Now, what goes on this final outer ring? Everybody else in the world, right? I just have not met them yet, right? So my job as a realtor, especially if I'm looking to build relationships, what do I have to do? I have to put myself out there with everybody else. I take every opportunity I can to put myself in front of everybody else. And once I've done that, you know, I may go to a networking group and it may be massive. I'm an introvert, right? So I'm doing well to come away with 2 new people that I've met. That's a win, right? That is a win because they go in the database. I start following up with them appropriately, right? Eventually they feel like they know me. Eventually what? They become an advocate of mine, right? So it's very important that we understand there's different layers to our SOI, right? We use that term loosely, but this is my whole SOI, my sphere of influence. My advocates are the ones I can count on for business, right? But I have to be actively working these. If I'm an agent who's not working these, I'm missing out on so much opportunity, right? And I'm going to be constantly on that struggle bus, trying to get it. Too many agents will go out and hold open houses, for an example, and they're only looking for the low-hanging fruit, the people that are getting ready to buy right now. That's a mistake. I'm going out looking for relationships. 50% of the people at an open house are not going to buy for 6 to 9 months. That's statistics, right? So what I want to do is I want to get out there, putting myself in that circle of what? Everybody else. So I meet the people that come into my open house. Now that I've met them, too many agents will say, oh, you're not buying right now, or oh, they didn't sound like they're interested, and they just drop them. Right. I can't tell you how many agents will do all these open houses and wonder why they've got nothing from it. It's because you've got to get the follow-up in place. Now that I've met them, it's my responsibility. The ball is in my court to get them to start feeling like they know me. All right. That is the only way. Well, a blind squirrel will get a nut occasionally, right? Like you can be, you know, working an open house and the skies will part and this person walks in, yeah, we got a deal, right? However, I want to increase my relationships. Open houses increase relationships if I do this appropriately, okay? We've got to start getting our relationships set in our mind and have the proper follow-ups, the proper energy and effort put into each one to grow that group of advocates. And when we get that group of advocates, up to 100 people, right? We've done financials on that. I have every reason to expect I can be a platinum agent every single year. Imagine if I grew that to 150, 200. Now above 200, they say you can't maintain that level of relationship. And I agree. Always cut my group around 150, right? 150 solid people. You will be a platinum agent every single year. There's no secret to it. It's just, that is a statistical fact that cannot be denied. It's been proven time and time again, right? So in the CRM, my recommendation is that you have tags, right? Hashtags for each one of these categories, each one of these relationship categories. So every time you add somebody, you need to be thinking about, okay, what is our level of relationship? If it's someone that I've met, I'm going to tag them PM or whatever you use to indicate that to you, right? So then on my calendar, if I have some time, you know, 30 minutes once or twice a week to work on relationships with people that I've met, that's where I'm going to. I'm going into my CRM, I'm pulling up all the people that I've met, and I'm directly touching those people, okay? And then I have all the people that I know. Remember, we're not quite yet to advocates. Got to have a little bit of time. I'm spending some love on them, right? So I pull up my list of all the PKs, the people that I know, and boom, I'm following up with them, okay? So every single person in your CRM should have a relationship tag, right? Because they're going to fit in one of those categories. Now we'll talk later about nurturing tags, because some people have 2 tags because they could be an A or B or C client. That's fine. But everyone gets a nurturing tag. And if somebody indicates an interest in doing something in real estate, they get the nurturing tag. Does that make sense? All right, very good. So these are the different layers of our SOI that we need to be working.